Level 1. You arrive like a question mark. Small hands, big eyes. The world is a loud map of smells and colors. You learn to trust touch. Laughter is new and explosive. You discover gravity by falling. You learn language like a secret code. You are taught safety and given boundaries. But curiosity keeps pulling at you, insistently. You test the limits of voice and volume. Everything is wonder. Everything is a lesson. A soft hand steadies you, and you name the day. This is where your base is built. This is where the safe rhythm begins. You soak in patterns. Who comforts you? Who leaves? Who remembers your name? You are collecting models without knowing the word model. Your first brave step is always witnessed. Level 2. Playground rules arrive like weather. You learn the ledger of give and take. You share a truck. You lose a toy. You cry, then try again. Friendship becomes experiments in risk. You learn about loyalty and betrayal, tiny, blunt instruments. You discover your place in a small tribe. You imitate a hero you saw in passing. You pick up a joke and stash it like treasure. You learn to negotiate power with a look. Bullies teach you a calculus of defense. Adults explain fairness in tidy theories. Level 3. School is a longer kind of pressure. You sit, listen, calculate. You discover subjects that sing to you. You also discover subjects that feel like blunt instruments. There are grades now, numbers that stick. You start measuring yourself against charts. Authority becomes an architecture. Teachers, coaches, mentors. You learn how to perform under watchful eyes. Praise becomes a currency you try to earn. Rejection becomes a note you replay in secret. Friend groups solidify into identities. You learn to wear labels. Nerd, jock, artist, lone wolf. Puberty arrives as a thunderstorm. Your body becomes a new language. Emotion surges with no manual. You are more awkward than ever, and that's the point. You taste freedom and shame in the same breath. You look to screens and magazines for answers. You also find unlikely guides, a stray mentor, an older friend. Risk seems louder. The future feels both near and foggy. You test boundaries because that's how you learn architecture of self. You fall in love for the first time. It feels like physics changing. Friends become mirrors and rumor mills. You learn that words can wound deeper than fists. You begin to construct strategies. How to impress, how to protect, how to disappear. You learn to mask uncertainty with bravado. But you also find courage in small, honest confessions. You start to question the maps you were given. Level 5. The mirror appears, a reflective, unkind thing. Identity becomes a negotiation. You ask, who are you when no one applauds? You wrestle with taste, music, clothes, beliefs. You argue with family rules and cling to chosen rules. You test political truths, moral lines, and loyalties. Ideals grow sharper. Cynicism arrives to test them. Failure is no longer a one-night event. It becomes a narrative you can choose to rewrite. You begin to practice resilience like a craft. You learn to sit with discomfort and not dissolve. Level 6. The crossroads smells like opportunity and pressure. Education choices, first jobs, first heartbreaks. You stand with one foot on comfort and one on risk. People hand you maps written in different languages. There are voices shouting, be safe, be bold, be practical, be you. You learn to budget time and money and affection. You take on responsibility and discover the taste of consequence. You might fail spectacularly. It will teach you more than success at this stage. You meet mentors who open doors and mentors who close them. You build a network of favors and shared burdens. You make promises to yourself you have to keep. You learn how discipline compounds like interest. You also learn that rest is strategic, not lazy. You choose paths that will shape the rest of your levels. Level 7. Apprenticeship is a long, gritty montage. You work, often unseen, often unpaid. You learn the craft of your life, skill, patience, repetition. You find out what you hate and what keeps you up at night with ideas. You encounter imposter feelings and survive. You begin to earn trust in narrow, meaningful ways. Responsibility expands beyond you. People rely on your output. You become the answer to someone else's problem. You learn leadership as service. You learn limits by hitting them and asking for help. You balance ambition against the cost to your relationships. You start making contributions that are not for applause. You save, invest, build, tiny bricks that will become structures. You practice forgiveness for your own mistakes. You mentor someone smaller than you and feel time loop. This is where craft meets character. Level 8. The architect stage. You design the life you will inhabit. You own the stories you tell about yourself. You choose what to protect. Family, values, work, curiosity. You become intentional about the stories you pass on. You realize that adulthood is not arrival, it is ongoing craft. You keep learning. You keep softening where hardness is useless. The levels never truly stop. They layer inside you like rings in wood. You are always building, always repairing. Final scene. Stand at a window. See the child who once looked out the same way. They are in you. Life is a sequence of small rewrites. You can edit, revise, and continue.